Oh, good morning out there in the world. I had something I want to say, and I'm going to say it. I understand political ads are a necessity of the universe so that we know who to vote for, at least according to the candidates who want to be voted for. But I'm tired of the mudslinging commercials. I've had enough of those. It doesn't matter if a politician goes to Singapore or Europe or wherever have you. I agree he shouldn't be taking the trip as a bribe from a corporation, if that's the actual right word for it, or it might simply be a gift. But I really don't want to know about it. It gets really annoying to get those kind of ads. Okay, with that being said, there's been a few changes on the farm here. We're just gonna take a look around real quick and show you what's going on. Of course, Grandpa's still kicking around in the house somewhere because it's raining. My truck is out and about, but that's to be expected. Sheep are still doing well. They got some wool coming up, which is good. I'm good with that. It's not enough to be a full pallet yet because there aren't that many sheep. There's only 12. I haven't added any, and they are asleep because it's nighttime. Well, ish. Well, yeah, nighttime, 2200 hours. So I've got a couple of plows in here. We are basically done with plowing at this point across all of our turf. And I know you're looking at the mini map going, wait a minute, that's quite a bit of turf. Yes, it is. This barn's got a couple of tractors that weren't here last time. An upgrade, at least for me anyway, to having a cabin there and the bale spike and such. And then the other one, I had Sid join me for some work, and that's what he picked out, a blacked out John Deere. Hmm, interesting design. In the meantime, we've finished our silage. We had those two pits going at one point. I picked up a couple of semi-trailers, some fuel in that barrel, and put down a couple of barns and a different silo system. I like this one better. Nothing hiding out in the barn here at the moment. And then we've got a couple of, well, new to us toys at the very least. I think one of them I picked up used. And our little tipper there. Shop to work on things, in case anybody's forgotten how some of this stuff works. Um, Not the best forklift for outdoors. I have to admit, I would not want to drive this thing in the rain in real life. These things are a pain and they're cold as ice in the rain because there's just no cover. But we could tuck this inside here, get it in out of the rain. It's got a nice shiny paint job now. Button. Okay. And of course, we've got our coffee greenhouse going, and that's been doing quite well. Now, well, it's got a rock picker sitting out. And then, well, we've been a little busy. I say that nicely at the moment, but, well, you'll see what I mean by a little busy here in a moment. This building came with the straw harvest pack. Normally there'd be a machine up top, the bar going across, instead of just lights. But this one isn't the production plant. This one is, well, the storage unit. So we got a little bit in storage. Not all of our stuff is here, though. And then, of course, our moo cows are doing just fine. We got some babies in at the moment. We check up on them. Did put down a unit for getting things, you know, the seed and fertilizer and whatnot as needed. And we've still got some bales to play with here. Let's throw another bedding bale at them. Nope, they don't need it. Okay. These are small and lightweight, so if we needed it, we have it, kind of thing. There we go. And then, I don't know what's going on with this barn, but it doesn't produce any manure, even though manure's on the list yet, which is kind of weird. And to say the least, we have been busy on this farm. I'm headed up to get the mower with this farm tractor, and I've got the baler attached as well. We've got an area that we're going to mow a little bit here. And ironically, I've got another plow on the back of this thing, but I'm not going to need it. So you're going, Darth, what in the world are you doing? You got 10 tons of equipment all of a sudden, and I'm seeing a lot more green. Yes, there's been a little bit of green. There she is, Kinlag. Castle McDarth. We've been a little busy, and not all the money is realistic, but it's for fun. The main purpose of this one was to build the castle, so that's what we're doing. Now this guy out here, I mean, over here the weather's not too bad. It's not, well, I guess it is raining. But she is very short on fuel. It's definitely been busy over here on the east side. And at least these seats are, well, water resistant, I guess is the right word for it. We'll bring this back to the barn over there. Oop, I took a wrong turn, but that's okay. Pardon me. I'm not going to leave too many tire tracks in our field. I hope I turn on the roller to keep that from happening. Now you're staring back at the cotton harvester going, well, what are you doing with that? Well, what do you think I did with that? Harvested cotton with it. I'm not returning it. I bought it. So, added that to our fleet and our capabilities on the farm, and we can diversify our portfolio this way.
Or a friend's file too.
This one has seen sit on it, so it's a friend's file.
Alright.
But it's my save file, if that's what you mean.
Oh, I'm just trying to help you with your content, but they're probably gonna ask.
I already answered that ahead of time.
Okay. I didn't hear you.
No, you're busy with your thing.
Anyway.
Yeah. We are across the road from where my mower is. So we're gonna fire that up. Disconnect the baler a minute. Don't need that piece right now. So you saw back at the farm, there's a forage harvester down there. What you don't know is that it does field grass only. It won't do wild grass. So, that's kind of where we're at with this. I've got a couple pieces that are still up here. One's a cultivator and the other is, I believe, my mower. Well, one of my mowers, anyway. Yeah, there she is. Good old Bednar. The goal is still to build the castle. I'll give it that. Now, mowing in the rain is not recommended, so we're going to have to hold off a little while. And I have reason for where I want to mow. But it's going to be right behind that little town off to our left there. And I can't put the baler on the trailer. It just won't go. It just fights me, so we're going to try and get the mower up there. If it fights me too, then I'll just pull it with this. Turn off the truck for the minute. You know what? We're just going to pull it with this. I'm done with it. I'll back up and pull the baler over there. But I'll show you kind of the area I'm going to work on next when it stops raining. Probably in the morning or, yeah. As you saw, we bought the map. So, that is kind of an end game goal. That's one of them anyway. But now we got to take care of the map. The whole county. I think what I'm going to do is pull the baler along this road, pretty much in front of where this is parked. And then pull the truck into the farm there, because that's mine too. And this field needs some service as well, which that particular tractor is going to take care of that as well. Because that's a lime spreader that's on the truck right now. And this area has not been limed at all, and I'm not doing that in the rain. It just doesn't stick. I tried that down south. So this truck has been used quite a bit lately. That's just kind of the nature of the beast. I have to get some fuel over to that one farm area over on the east side. And then some fuel into this farmyard as well. I haven't done that yet. Probably put down barrels and use that little transport trailer. But that's a side project I'll work on here in a minute. This field off to my left, behind the town and the fishery, is an area I want to mow up. And I have my reasons for doing so. I am going to put down straw harvest production, and I'm also going to put down another production over here. That's kind of what I need at the moment. And somewhere along the line this winter, I hope, I'm going to take and get the grain transferred out of this barn into my regular silo back at the main farm. That way I can consolidate everything to one place over there, because this is a authentic design for this area of the world. But it's just, I don't know, it's just not my design. And there's my pickup truck. And this is a dairy cattle farm, which I find kind of interesting. Put some Holsteins or something in here. and go from there. So that's kind of what's going on with that. I'm going to pause for a minute, and nature's call is going to get answered, and I'll be back in a moment. Okay, I'm back. I think what I'm going to do is show you a couple other things that are going on. You saw the coffee greenhouse. Coffee produces quickly. Now, I do want to get this up and running. Gotta get that going. That'll make us some money. And there goes our diesel-powered steam locomotive. I know, kind of a conundrum there. They put the wrong sound to the train and got razzed for it already by the community at large on Farm Sim.
What's wrong with the train sounds?
Huh?
What's wrong with the train sounds?
It's a steam locomotive that sounds like a diesel.
Oh. Steam locomotive that sounds like a diesel?
That's what I said. The third time. We're going to shortcut a little bit across this. We own it all, so it doesn't make a difference. Or most of it, anyway. You saw that I set up a warehouse. It's not a surprise, is it? There's a nice big building staring back at us there. Feels a little odd driving around in an American truck in Scotland, but such is life. We're gonna just park by the door. Actually, I do it right. I'll park over here by the door. Wondered where all that coffee got off to. Well, here it is. Stocked up nice and neat, and yes, I've got some bales in here on a random shelf as well. I think what I'm gonna do is take down that storage building I have on the farm itself and put the bales in here. Maybe with a few left behind over there, but not all of it like it is now. Or most of it anyway. And this place gets a little cold, so we're gonna take and close that up. And then I do have one other pallet. Oh, yes, fish. Those need to go where they're gonna go. What are those? Young trout. Those need to go out to the aqua farm. Where'd my forklift get off to? I think I'm just gonna load them on the pickup. This is kind of the cold storage room over here. I don't know if it's actually effective as one, but since most of this is all play pretend anyway, it works. We're gonna drop these fishies off in their new home. And then I've got a castle to show you. Well, a castle in progress to show you. Now, to make fish food on this map, you need flour, which there's no flour mill that's functional as a flour mill right now. I think the idea behind that was to make it so where you wanted to rebuild the windmill that's on the map, which I'm doing that too. I could put down a flour mill, there's no issue with that. It's just, I wanted the build project. I'm not a big do-it-yourselfer when it comes to real life, so this is my fun world, so to speak. That way. I try to play reasonably realistic, with some unrealistic elements, working with and things like that. But like the forklift here is very realistic. If I had more than just the two pallets to worry about, I would probably have brought a trailer along. But, you know, the weather is why I'm wearing what I'm wearing, so. Turn that back off. That's one thing they haven't come up with in this game is the remote start like those trucks can have. Huh?
Band room.
Oh, looks a little wet.
Well, yeah. That's gonna be the band room. So far I've got, the office part and the home room and the hallway that leads down to the living room.
Okay. Definitely not a pleasant forklift for the weather. But it's not exactly pleasant weather, so. we're gonna close that and just jump. Alright, let's get this going places. Close the tailgate. For the most part, I use semi-trucks with the warehouse, but this is a small enough load I can get away with this. And I've got a rule that my semi doesn't go in where the warehouse itself is. It stays here in this parking lot. That's because its turning radius is bigger than the space really available in there. So I'm going to drive by and show you something over here that I use. And for those of you Star Wars fans, you're going to recognize the number and letter combination. A little bit at least. Check my fence back in. Yes, it's a YT. So, fun fact for those of you on YouTube, go ahead, give me an answer. What else carried the YT name? I wonder how many people will get it right. This is where it gets challenging though, because I don't have a forklift over here. But if you notice, these are the boxes that are the liftable pallets for this DLC. So we'll just turn that off in a minute. Up on my truck. I was hesitant to throw these in here, but yeah. Process the little fishies. There we go, that throws them in there. We'll jump up here. This normally would be out to sea a bit more. I think I'm going to rebuild it for just that purpose. But as you can see, we've got our salmon and our trout working on things. We've got some young in there. Well, most of the way full. So it's going to be a while before I can shut this one down and move it. And then attached, but not close enough, is our dock for these things. This gets us some regular salmon. Yeah, that's what this one is. 2,000 pieces worth. We'll take to the other end of the dock because it's silly to have a boat all the way down here and not be able to use it like that. Yeah, here's where things get creative. I have the boat, or the ship rather. But I can't get on it. There's no ladder to climb. So if you end up in the water, you end up in the water. The only way to get on there is to tab around. This guy's done with what he was doing here, or so he thinks. He left a spot. I'm okay with it. We're going to tab around to the boat. There we are. I'm not trying to go super fast with this thing. It doesn't do that anyway. don't have a big production here. Just have the little one. Didn't go overboard. I could have, obviously, with the bank account I've got, but being slightly conservative, and we're real close to the shoreline, and it's just gonna fight me now. See if we can back this thing up. Go around the other side of the buoy. So, I don't know if you can hear my wife in the background. This particular headset is not terribly good at noise canceling. I discovered the hard way. But she was mentioning that she's also streaming, and her channel is something to subscribe to as well, or follow if you're on Twitch. And I encourage you to do the same with mine.
You know, it'd be nice if you actually said, you know, where to find white.
I haven't gotten that far. Thank you. She's kibitzing again over there. So maybe I won't bother to mention. Just to annoy her. Alright, that's gonna bump the dock now. There. Perfect. End up here in the control tower. And we'll get our fishies. Now, if you're playing realistic, which that's a liftable pallet, so I don't have to play realistic if I don't feel like it. But we're gonna play realistic for a minute. Play with the crane. This is a new feature that they put in for this DLC. There is a modded truck out there that has a similar crane system to this. Why did it fold instead of picking up the thing? Oh, no buttons and mount pallet to crane. Okay. Boy, are those fish gonna get dizzy and shook up. Got a fish named Elvis now. He's all shook up. Okay, and that puts away the crane. But you've seen the new technique with that, which is cool. I think it's kind of neat. It works, which is what I really needed. But now I have 2 pallets of fish. Well, how do you get them back off the boat? It's pretty easy. You drive the boat right up to the dock or right up to the land. In this case, I've done it going up to the land, and it gets good and stuck. It's a pain to get the boat back off the land bit, so what we're going to do is back this boat out of here and take it over to the docks. Pretty much to the sell point, too. Because all you can really do with these fish is sell them. Close that up. And that is how the aquaculture works. Take this thing out to sea slightly. And spin it around. I know, not a terribly fast machine, but it's the boat we've got to work with. And no, unlike on GTA, you can't hit the handbrake button and make it turn faster either. It just turns at the speed it turns at.
About?
Yeah, my cargo ship.
Ah. I got a bigger ship.
So do I, but it's on another game.
Eventually I'll have a bigger, bigger, bigger ship. Um,
And then we're gonna tab over to the pickup truck. That's what they call it. Switch vehicles over to the pickup and drive it over to the docks.
I thought it was just one ship and then you go back, or it doesn't like that when the was well, at one point, for sure.
So a ship this size probably wouldn't have a tugboat to push it into the dock. However, if that was a function on this game, I probably would use it. This thing is just unwieldy to turn. And then this dock actually normally comes with a forklift, and it is parked there. Okay. I could just pull up straight so that that ramp is to the dock. Or, do what I'm gonna do. Whoa, horsey, come on. Back up. Back up. We're gonna back up a bit. And turn some more. And pull this thing right up to the dock. My way. So that I can pull it away from the dock when I need to. It would have been nice if we could build our own docks. You know, just a platform piece and the little ramp there. Giants dropped the ball on that as far as I'm concerned. They don't let us design our own dockwork. They just have this. And I'm certain that the community at large will come up with something eventually. Of their own accord. Okay, so apparently the boat has to be running to run the crane. That's something to know about. But I could start the boat from the crane. Crane doesn't have a separate motor. That's interesting. So yes, you can have two players on this boat. You can have one driving it and one running the crane. That's kind of a neat idea. What I don't really see is a way to rotate the pallet. Huh. These are the games out there with cranes that you can rotate the cargo you're carrying. Oh yeah, well, we'll leave that there for the minute. Hop off our ship. Which technically that's the gangplank, but yeah. So this is the forklift that the map gives you to start with. And behind us is the sell point for fish. They didn't put any kind of production further than this for fish that I'm aware of. As far as I know, you can just sell the fish straight. However, such things do exist. And it is big business to make, roasted fish and processed fish and breaded fish and all the rest of it. But that's just not a function on the game yet. This is a good rainy day activity for the minute. Partly because it's an enclosed forklift. The electric is good that way. Alright, let's get this one over there and ready to sell. And it just ends up an end product. Nothing more to it than that. But we get almost $20,000 a pallet. I can live with those kind of numbers.
How much?
Almost 20,000 for a pallet of fish.
How many fish are in a pallet of fish?
2,000 liters because it's by the weight, not by the number of fish.
Okay, well, if I get to go on Dreamlight Valley later, I'll tell you how much 2,000 fish. Oh, I can't sell 2,000 fish. I don't have 2,000 fish to sell.
That's okay because I don't have 2,000 fish to sell either. I had 4,000. So there. 2 pallets.
Well, I really do not.
Gotta love big numbers. Anyway, as I was saying before, and I think I interrupted myself partly, if you're over on YouTube and you haven't already, go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you like what I'm doing. Let me know if you do or don't like something that I do. Now that one was only worth 12. Ooh. We must have flooded the market. Too many fish.
I got guaranteed numbers.
Yeah, we have an actual economy.
Goofy doesn't change his prices just because, I'm selling him 100 fish.
Yeah, that's what I was showing you before, is the YT there. This I use because it's got a much tighter turning radius for getting into tight spots to back into the docks. Alright, well that's up and running. Let's go check on one other thing. We're running around in a pickup truck right now. And boy is it ever pouring buckets. I'm going to hit save here in a sec. Pull off to the side of the road. Yes, I know for Scotland it's the wrong side of the road.
Or off the so you don't remember or something.
let the game save, and then I want to see what the weather's going to be. Okay, around 1 a.m. it should lighten up and stop raining. Now, that is a weather prediction without an RTK station, which is like a weather vane. You know, tells you what it's going to do. I don't have one on here yet. I'm going to put one down. I got some building yet to do. And that money definitely helped. But like I said, I think we flooded the market with fishy. So that's kind of interesting. It's also the tail end of November. No fish pun intended. What are our prices on our fishies?
Which one's the HO scale?
Uh,
The bitty ones or the big ones?
Not the itsy bitsies, that's N scale, but not huge either, that's O scale. Or
Okay.
garden scale, depending.
O scale is like you know, like you went to
Like a Lionel train would be an O scale.
Okay, and Lionel train is the O scale, but I was gonna say that maybe it's like the ones that they have at Christmas time, and it's got like
That'd be the
Christmas decorations
Lionels.
on it. Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know Lion. Well, like
Lionel's
Pop-Tarts
a brand
Express.
name, but
Oh, I just
and
got
not a
that.
sponsor of the channel either.
Like Pop-Tarts Express.
Oh, let's see. Where are my
Stuff like that.
fishies?
Anyway, and then there's those little itty bitty ones, which he says are N scale. But
We're looking for salmon and trout down here.
Tom's Tank Engine is
There's our salmon.
the in between size.
Selling for over $9,000 a pallet. Or 9,000 per thousand units.
Show.
Trout?
It doesn't matter whether it was the one on Shining Time Station or if it's the one that was on.
It's over okay, that's what it was. I had one pallet of one and one pallet of the other. And the prices are different. And the market's down right now. Being November when it came. Bottom's out in January. Wow.
There was like Shining Time Station, and that had Ringo
I have to come up with a way to store them until July. From here on. Interesting. Okay, well, I'm going to check up on something over this way. Again, like I said, projects for doing in the rain is okay. So this is one of those vehicles that has some of the nice features to it. In real life, this would be the equivalent of the vehicle I drive, only one model bigger, for lack of better terminology. This one, in game anyway, has one of the features that my truck has. And there's nothing to pick up. But if you notice, we have a functioning backup camera in the truck. How's that for wild? I think that's kind of neat. This is almost exactly like what my truck looks like on the inside.
American sounding voice in the movie Days of Thunder. So I'm suddenly wondering,
Okay, well, I think it's time to roll through to the morning. We've done quite a bit overnight here. I think the fish market was upset with us for delivering so late in the night. Anyway, like and subscribe over on YouTube if you would. I would appreciate it. I don't know what my numbers are as far as followers go and such on either platform, but on Twitch, throw me a chat line. That's fine. I don't monitor the chat too much when I'm on stream. I concentrate on making content. for the most part.
Yeah, but they like both.
I'll check it here in a minute when I get back to the house. But this map is kind of unique because it also offers the option to kind of play pretend. And I might put together a series doing that, where you play pretend and just take a tent and some contracts and make some money. Things like that. Before you ask in the chat, no, you can't go over the bridge. It's blocked. That's been tried. But once this weather lets up, we will have some more things to do. Be a lot more fun on the farm. Well, work-related fun, but game fun. Anyway, I dropped this thing back at the farmhouse and go to sleep for a few hours. In-game hours. And I gotta get back out there with the tractors and keep on going. I think I'm gonna have to get a hold of some more equipment for doing things like spreading lime. The seeders I've been using to put down the grass, because that's all I've been planting, have fertilizer to them. So that wasn't an issue, and I'm not going to be able to finish planting everything. So some areas are going to stay empty for the minute, where others have grass in them. And then in the spring, I'll come through and plant what I really want in those areas. Like over here on the west side rather, of the map, I do have a couple fields of grain, wheat, I believe, just so that I have some straw for the next year. But other than that, I haven't really planted much this season. And with any luck, we can get out of this swim gear. It is flood level wet out. Oh yeah, that's the other thing that ought to disappear in December. It's all the pumpkins left over from Halloween. Those things would be so rotten, it's not even funny.
Aria? 0542.
Let's get a cup of coffee. It's been cold out. Ugh. Ah, that tastes good. A little bit of role play never hurt anybody, right? And then this is an interesting area up here. They get a farming cartoon on. Looks like John the Farmer instead of Bob the Builder. But anyway.
Are we going for a Bob the Builder?
That's what it looked like the TV had on it.
Okay.
I didn't design it. Giants did.
Ah.
Well, anyway. Let's sleep through to the morning. What do you think? About 8 a.m.? Yeah, that sounds good. Get a good 8-hour sleep. There we go. Looks like the rain has stopped. Not quite daylight out. Take care of business behind closed doors here. Doesn't open. We'll pretend. Well, that feels better. And then I think our wardrobe trigger was over here somewhere. in the main bedroom. I know that.
I'm trying to type it.
Was it downstairs?
It's like simultaneously. Simultaneously.
Yeah, I get some business to take care of there.
Spelled S-I-M. So she said.
Gotta love being millionaires.
Simultaneously.
Always more paperwork.
And that's not the way it's said.
Okay. Let's get out of that get up. It's kind of winter time, so we want something warm to wear. Yeah, we'll go this way. Stick to an American theme, even in Scotland.
Still a little tired because I haven't eaten anything, so yeah. Take it with a grain of salt, but I spelled it correctly. But
There we are.
S-I-G-H replaces S-I.
I wish they would have made this a functional greenhouse. That could have been good. Because it'd been fun, something small to work on. Yeah, dead crops out here. You can't get in here with anything but hand tools, so there's not much you could do with the area. That does not dispense water like it should. And Grandpa's back to standing outside. What goes on in our sheep barn? Still just 12 of them. Let's see, oh, we're getting close to some reproduction time. And puberty on the other two sets. Got some 1-year-olds. Well, as soon as they hit some reproduction, I'll sell the adults and go from there. That's our cattle shed. Let's see. Some 22-month-olds. Get some 10-month-olds. They're getting close. And I got some 4-month-old babies. So, a good variety there. Looks like we're not doing too bad on food. It's still at 69,009. I'm not going to worry about it too much just yet, but I will be creating or picking up some total mix for the other pen. And it sits empty at the moment. There's nothing in there. No animals, no products, no nothing. We got to take care of that. But we also got some wool, at least to put in the warehouse. So we'll get our handy dandy truck. And again, I have a liftable pallets mod installed. I'm sure that one of these bales of wool would be pick upable by a human, but not both of them. I don't see why not. And it's actually only half full. I didn't realize it. Oh, because it's supposed to have 4 on it, not 2. Oh well. We'll get more sheep, we'll get more wool. I'm not too worried about it. Alright, let's take a look around the farm, see what's cooking. I'm betting we need a semi-truck pretty soon. Nope, I think our greenhouse is out of water. Or something else is going on. Oh, we're out of liquid fertilizer. I'm gonna pick some of that up. Okay. That's something to worry about today. Gotta get our coffee up and running again. But we'll take this over to the warehouse. Coffee production has been heavy enough as it is. We're gonna go back to that farm tractor and see about mowing up some turf. It's December, but it hasn't started snowing as yet. Interesting weather up here in Scotland.
Oh, it's not Nevada.
No, it's not Nevada. It looks like our grass is coming in nicely, at least the first growth stage there. see what else we got cooking. More grass there. Good. And this town. Oh. They just walk out in front of me. It was my turn to go. Jeez. I think I took a wrong turn, but oh well. Maybe we'll just sell this. I'm done with it. At the sell point? No, it's not. Apparently. We're here? No? Interesting. Another sell point here. I like some of the decorations around this map. Something else. Manhattan Company takes a lot of things. Oh, they took that. And they paid us almost $2,000 for wool. Half a pallet of wool. Oh, I did say I was going to check the stream. Let me take and do that real quick. I don't have a computer next to me at the moment. My laptop is upstairs. I'll worry about that another day. But let's click on the Twitch. And I don't see any chat messages, but anybody that's interested in watching, go right ahead. Give me a chat message too. That'd be fun to interact. Also, for those watching this on YouTube later on, I do have a Patreon page linked on my Twitch, and I'll have to put some links into YouTube. I haven't done that yet. It's on my to-do list. Anyhow, I'm going to take and link the Patreon page in the description for the YouTube at the very least. And, yeah. My Patreon, I think it's $3 for the subscription, if I remember correctly. And then, from there, I have a link on there that I need somebody to test. It costs a couple of bucks, but it links to my wife's series of pirate novels she's written. And I would enjoy the knowledge of finding out if that works from somebody other than my own testing. Because I can test the link on the creator side, but that doesn't tell me if it works for you guys. So I need a little help and a little feedback on that. Alright. Coming up on our spot, let's see if this grass is something we can mow, or if it's something that the game automatically chops down because of the time of year. I honestly don't know. Oh, I took a wrong turn. I don't know. So, other winter activities that can be done, and this is not strictly farming related, but it is something that I usually do during the winter time on a farm sim game, and that's logging. Plenty of logging to be had. This map is no slouch on the trees. However, one of these fields is going to end up trees. Probably something smaller. I'm going to build a tree farm. And I'll have some equipment out and the whole bit. Okay. Let's see. You know what? I think the game trims down the grass on its own because of the winter time. We're going to find out for sure. If I can get any kind of cutoff of this in December, I'll be happy, but I won't be terribly surprised if it says, Well, it looks like we're going to get something. As I stated, this is an area I'm going to cut up for the grass. Come in and bale. Might just turn around and sell the bales just to have the profit from it. And then I'm going to put down a couple of productions of my own here. I've got plenty of grass coming in the spring. I'm not worried about that. So I don't really need the product at the moment. I think I even have silage in stock too, but this goes right up to that field, okay. And around to the farmyard. Like I said, we've got a first growth stage of grass all over the place that's been planted. Interesting. Winter grass is something a little unusual in this game. So that's something to know about. Now I have something of a curiosity that I'm going to satisfy here in a sec. What's going to make us more grass, hay, or silage? But we're going to find out. Obviously, silage takes longer to create, so it's going to be more profitable. That's not surprising. TMR, if I can make the stuff, pays 400 per 1,000, which isn't bad for TMR. When the time comes, straw pellets are paying 500 and 600, and toward the top of their market right now, but I don't have that production in just yet, and that takes a little bit of time to make them. We got silage, plenty of it, almost 300 liters. It's not the top of the market. Top of the market's in April. And that's going to be a busy time for us already, so I might not wait that long. I might take and sell it in March if I want to do that. But I need a way to make my total mix beforehand. I think I might just hang on to the silage because of that. And then we're after grass and hay. Those I thought were up here. Oh, hay. Straight hay pays right now at 186, 185 in a couple of places. Make it into pellet, and you multiply that price tag by 8. Holy moly. I think it's time to make some hay pellets. Don't you? But straight hay, which is what we could have here, pay 185. Come up here to grass, 140. 5. Well, tops out of 150 next month. Do we want to just do grass? No, I think we're going to at least turn it into hay. So that lets me know what other equipment I need to bring up here to work on this area. And eventually we're going to have those hay pellets and all the equipment therein, which actually is quite an extensive collection. things that you have to have for that. The stationary PTO is not out at the time of this recording, and I don't have access to the early version of it. DJ did do a video saying it was coming soon. No, coming soon is a month, 2 months, who knows, next week. And this isn't going to be a big cut, so I'm not too worried about this place. Maybe I'll just sell the grass straight. I'm done with it. But I can at least bale it so I can transport it easy. Okay, well, I've just been notified by my headset that its battery is low. And when it goes, I'll be turning off the stream, just to give everybody the heads up of that. So there's that. And it'll just be a wherever I stop kind of deal. It won't be a stopping point in an outro or anything like that. When the headset dies, the headset dies. Alright, so as a recap, my wife writes books. Her books are listed on Amazon. I have a link directly to the series of books that she's written, not the individual kids' book she's written, on my Patreon. The link I'm using as a test to see if it's something that'll work. The link that's on the Patreon that costs a couple bucks that I only tested, that is a test for us to see if that's something that might be usable. Not necessarily a profit thing, but it'd be nice to have a couple of bucks. Go get a hot dog at Costco or whatever else have you, kind of thing. But if you like my content, you want to see more of it, let me know down in the comments for definite. Also, join the Patreon. That'd be great. I'm trying to encourage her to put the Patreon out there on her channel as well, which she hasn't done. At least not on the YouTube anyway.
What?
As far as I know, the Patreon's not on her YouTube. Just on mine.
I still gotta figure out how to log into my Patreon.
We'll get a nice lightweight December cut out of this. And then I think I put a Linktree link in my Twitch as well. Because Twitch I figured out pretty quick on how to set up links and stuff. Whereas YouTube, I'm still learning some of the stuff. But anyhow, I get it. No big deal. I think we're going to cut straight here. And then we'll come back on that line. So you're probably thinking, Darth, you've got all those grass fields. Why do you need to cut this? This I'm cutting just so that it's out of the way. Looks nice when I put down my production facilities. It's more of an aesthetic than it is anything else. And it's, just profit sitting on the table. Why would I leave money on the table? It's like dropping a $100 bill at a gas pump without buying gas. What's the sense? Or leaving a $100 bill at a bus stop. That thing's disappearing. Well, same concept. And I'm gonna have to flatten some of this turf just to either build it up or lower it or something. I might do what I did with the warehouse and put fences down and whatnot, make it look decorative. But that is a central location for that warehouse, and I like it. Additionally, that warehouse pack that came from got an update not too long ago, the other day actually, so that the floor in one of those warehouses actually can be walked on instead of floating, which that helps. Are there more efficient mowers out there that would do this? Yes. Is this one kind of fun and calming? Yes. I'll go with fun and calming. You know what else I could do? Bale up this grass and throw it in the barn. The cow barn over there. That might be a good idea. I don't have to worry about the quality of the grass. It's just grass. Real world, you kind of have to worry a little more about quality and quantities. In the game, it's not quite that in depth. It's just a quantity of grass, and at this point, this area is wild grass. So if there's weeds, there's weeds. There's nothing I can really do about that. Not ideal to give to the cows, but it's useful.
I don't know if I want to know what was just going on the screen.
I'm not sure I want to know what was going on your screen either.
Well, it was an episode of Nash Bridges, and I don't know what was going on.
OA. I know, I've got a weird pattern for cutting. It's okay.
Okay. Want hash browns?
Sure.
Yes.
Oh. Oh, we're getting closer to cut on this area. Ted it, windrow it, and throw it in the cow barn. Hold on, guys.
The tinfoil hates me.
Because you're trying to pull down on it instead of up. That's all it is.
That's stupid.
Nobody said it was smart. In case you're wondering what the background sound effects just now were, it was a tinfoil package. Apparently the tinfoil's smarter than my wife. It keeps thwarting her. So a lot of the tools that I have around the farm can be run with that open top tractor that I've got. It's got reasonable horsepower. It's not super powered. I do have one tractor in here that is kind of super overpowered. But, you know, you gotta have some fun sometimes.
We need more hash browns.
Nah.
Glasses.
So I think I'll cut this. We'll go and visit the castle, see what it needs real quick. There is a couple of productions that are involved in making the castle. Or building it, I should say. And I gotta check up on them. We do most of that with a pickup truck and the little trailer. Or if it's mass numbers, we'll come back with a semi. We're getting down to the wire on this. So now you're wondering maybe, hey Darth, your wife writes books, do you? Nope. Do you do any other creative stuff? Nope. This is it. This is my creation. My farms. For me, it's enough. For a lot of people, it wouldn't be. I think I am going to bring the tedder around. That's going to be a thing. So, we're going to drop this at the farmyard before I bale all that up. I'll take and I'll get the tedder and do it right. And yes, that's our main combine in there. And the header is, well, both headers are right there. Is that the corn header as well as the regular? So at some point, I'm going to have to decide what crop goes where and set up my harvesters and other equipment to match that plan. This is going back over to that little field of area there. I think up north I'm going to keep mostly grass. So I'll keep the mower and probably the forage harvester up here. I'm going to plant more oats and things like that that I need a regular combine for down near the farmhouse, the main farm, if you will. So I'll take the combine over there and the headers. I might do something like corn down south of the farm. And none of this is absolute. I may mix it up a bit. Like I've got a grass field near the farm and I've got crop fields near the farm. Show you what I mean. Like this is all grass up here. A lot of this didn't get planted. I ran out of time. That's just the nature of the beast. Even with help, I ran out of time to plant it all because we plowed everything. But I do have grass fields, a lot of them throughout here. Yet I have a wheat field over there and a wheat field there. I don't know if it's going to be enough wheat to really do much with necessarily, but it'll be something at least. What exactly is that? Oh, the coffee house. Okay. Will the coffee house take coffee? Get produced item. Roasted coffee beans? No, the coffee house doesn't take roasted coffee beans. That'd be too easy.
Why would the coffee house not take roasted coffee beans?
Because the coffee is a mod and the coffee house is part of the map. They didn't connect them. Seems like a flaw in this law, but anyway. So there's that. We're making castle stones at the moment. Okay. Well, let's go get that tedder. I believe I could tow it with the pickup.
If you hear the hash brown bell before I do, let me know.
Okay. Not that I was trying to say something. Jeez.
Sorry,
As I said, one's a mod and the other's not. So that's why that coffee house doesn't take coffee. Which is kind of weird. Something like that, I would have definitely have made sure the mod worked for that. But that's up to the modder, not me. Nothing going there. At the moment. We do need to take some diesel over to the east side. I have to take and do that soon. The cows we've got do not produce milk, so I don't have to worry about that. I believe they do have slurry, though, don't they? They do not have slurry either. Just an empty manure pit, which is weird. I guess those cows don't produce quality manure to be used, so there's that. Those guys are just going to be beef cattle, essentially. Well, from the turnout here, you can see where the castle site is. You can go check that out. It's mostly just to be a tourist trap. Or a tourist attraction, anyway. Might cut some more of this wild grass around here, just to have more to pick up. I don't have a need for it, but just for something to do over the winter if I don't feel like cutting trees down. Now, I do have some things in stock up here. And I'll probably come back with a semi and throw those in the truck, the box truck, and stick them in the warehouse. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. Because this is on stage 2 and needs 500 wood beam and 2,000 planks long. Well, this will be more than enough wood beam for this step. Bam. And here's our planks long. Runs 1,000 pieces of plank. $1,000 out of the 2 we need, and here's the second. So that should get them back up and running. And this just takes time to build. And of course, materials. As you can see, they get the wooden walkways going for the walls and whatever else have you. This place ought to be interesting when it's done. Nothing much else going here. Got some castle stones there. Keep those in stock up here for a minute. I might just tow that tractor out of the east side over here and deal with that. But I thought our tedder was over here. Yes, there it is. And this truck hooks up to almost everything. There we go, lift the hitch a little. Just kind of dragging the ground no matter what. But that's almost to be expected. Oh, looks like we didn't get a full planting on that field. Well, that's fine, it's just cover crop for grass right now. That's one of the wheat fields and it's growing well. Do we have to deal with any weeds? pH value is low. Nitrogen's just fine. Needs rolling. Well, too late to roll it this year. Maybe next. After another cutting of it. The rolling puts the stones back down into the ground so that you can take care of them. So AI workers are very useful, but often you have to double check their work. And I think that's where we're getting that not so finished field. Let's take and drop this thing here. Even without a PTO, it can still open it up? That's interesting. But it will not turn on. Okay. I can live with that. So this tedder is unique in the fact that it also windrows the stuff together. Makes it a little easier to take care of. Especially on something like a big field. Not that this is a big field, just it's useful. So I think what's going to ultimately happen, as far as grassworks goes, is I'll keep the little mower, and I have my forage harvester, and one's gonna do hay, which will be the mower, and one will do silage, and that'll be the forage harvester. Kind of an interesting setup there, that way, but it works, which is the whole point. And just like that, the tedding is done. To keep my little mower and the tedder for hay, I'll have the big machine for silage. Then I just gotta figure out what fields are which. Because this will most likely be a grass farm here. Just straight up stay grass. And then I can also bring some grass down in here and make it into silage. And get a feed mixer or something, or production plant to make TMR. Or before I throw anything in that cow barn, I could put down a different cow barn if I felt like.